Welcome to the Explainer. Look, if you're a corporate tech leader, you already know AI is literally dominating every single boardroom conversation right now. But let's be real for a second. Trying to cut through the relentless hype can feel like a full-time job. So today, our goal is to slice right through that noise. We're going to lay down a clear, structured taxonomy of the 7 types of AI. By the end of this, you'll have a rock-solid strategic framework to help you separate what's actually deployable today from what's, well, still just science fiction. Okay, here's our roadmap for today. First up, navigating the AI hype. Second, we'll look at capabilities versus functionalities. Third, realized AI. Fourth, theoretical AI. And finally, we'll wrap up with a strategic decision framework. This whole journey is going to take us from all that messy hype right down to a concrete, actionable decision matrix. Let's get into it. Section 1. Navigating the AI hype and finding the signal in the noise. It is incredibly frustrating for executives to just get bombarded with confusing, overlapping AI terminology from vendors and the media alike. So we really need to address the core problem here. I want to pose a really direct question to you. Are you investing in reality or are you investing in science fiction? When you sit down to evaluate your organization's tech roadmap, how are you actually categorizing the tools sitting right in front of you? Because think about it, if you don't know exactly what type of AI you're buying, there's just no way you can accurately predict its ROI. Now, notice the stark contrast we have here. If we try to classify all of artificial intelligence, we get 7 total theoretical types, which, yeah, is a pretty tall order. But here is the absolute critical takeaway for your strategy. Out of those 7, we are only actually talking about 3 that are realized, meaning 3 that actually exist in the world today. The rest, they're purely theoretical. Moving on to Section 2, capabilities versus functionalities, the fundamental split. To really make sense of these 7 types, we've got to break them down into 2 broad encompassing categories. So the crucial point here is understanding the difference between a capability and a functionality. AI capabilities basically represent the highest ceiling of what a system can ultimately achieve. It's the big picture of its potential, right? On the flip side, AI functionalities are the mechanical how of a system's operation. It's the actual methods and processes it uses to get the work done. You really have to look at AI through both of these lenses. All right, Section 3, realized AI, the stuff that's deployable today. Let's see how this all builds into the practical tools you can actually go out, buy, license, and deploy in your enterprise right now. Let's start with those capabilities. Today, there is literally only one existing AI capability, and it's called artificial narrow AI. It also goes by the kind of unflattering name of weak AI. Now, on its face, that doesn't sound super impressive, right? But despite that label, narrow AI is incredibly powerful. It's trained by us, human beings, to perform a highly defined narrow task. And it might even do that task way better than a human ever could. The catch, though, is that it absolutely cannot perform outside of its defined boundaries. It's strictly limited to its training. So if narrow AI represents the only capability we have today, how does it actually function? Well, that brings us to our first functionality, reactive machine AI. This is a system perfectly designed to perform a very specific, specialized task. Reactive AI stems from statistical math. It analyzes vast amounts of data to produce an output that honestly seems highly intelligent. It basically looks at the board, assesses the current state, and simply reacts. And this brilliantly illustrates that we've actually had reactive AI for quite a while now. Think back to the late 1990s. Remember IBM's chess-playing supercomputer, Deep Blue? It famously beat chess grandmaster Garry Kasparov. But how did it do it? Well, by analyzing the pieces on the board and predicting the probable outcomes of every single move. That is a highly specialized task, utilizing a massive amount of available data to create an insight. And that is the absolute hallmark of reactive machine AI. Now, our second realized functionality is limited memory AI. And this form of AI goes a step further. It can actually recall past events and outcomes. It monitors specific objects or situations over time, and it uses both past and present moment data to decide on the absolute best course of action. The true power here, the real game changer, is that as it's trained on more data over time, limited memory AI actually improves its performance. To bring this right into your current tech stack, just think of your favorite generative AI chatbot. Those tools rely entirely on limited memory AI capabilities. They use this functionality to predict the next word, maybe the next phrase, or the next visual element, all within the context of what they're generating. Literally all the massive enterprise Gen AI deployments we're seeing today, they're built on this limited memory functionality, operating under a narrow AI capability. That's the whole shebang right now. Okay, Section 4, Theoretical AI and Tomorrow's Horizon. Now we're going to step out of the boardroom and look out toward the sci-fi horizon. It's really vital to monitor these theoretical concepts, even if we aren't quite putting our investment dollars there just yet. So if Neuro AI is all we have for capabilities today, what exactly are the theoretical ones? Well, step 1 is Artificial General Intelligence, or AGI. A major favorite of betting markets and sci-fi movies, AGI would essentially use previous learnings to accomplish entirely new tasks in totally different contexts. And get this, without human beings needing to train the underlying models. It just figures it out by itself, which, is a bit disconcerting. Then, step 2 is Artificial Super AI. If realized, super AI would think, reason, learn, and make judgments with cognitive abilities that entirely surpass those of human beings. Now, how would those advanced capabilities actually function? Well, under AGI, we have a theoretical functionality called theory of mind AI. This system would theoretically understand the thoughts and emotions of other entities, specifically us. It could actually infer human motives and reasoning. Interestingly enough, researchers are actively developing a sort of precursor to this right now called emotion AI, and that hopes to analyze voices, images, and data to understand and respond to human feelings. And finally, functioning under super AI, we have self-aware AI. Winning the personal award for the scariest AI of all, this system would understand its own internal conditions and traits. It would completely evolve past catering to human sentiments and experiences. Instead, it would possess its own set of emotions, needs, beliefs, and desires. But hey, let's just park that cheery thought for now. Because as leaders, you really need to focus on what you can actually control today. Which brings us to Section 5, our decision framework and strategic AI choices. Let's bring this all back down to earth and equip you with the ultimate takeaway tool for your next strategy meeting. Here is your comparison matrix for quick, strategic decision-making. We've got our capabilities as columns across the top, narrow, general, and super, and we have our functionalities as rows down the side, reactive, limited memory, theory of mind, and self-aware. By mapping these out like this, we instantly separate the hype from the reality. Notice how the intersection of narrow AI capability with reactive and limited memory functionalities forms a tight, actionable little cluster right up in the top left? That is realized AI. This right here is where your enterprise software budgets go today. Everything else on this board? It's theoretical. This matrix tells us exactly how far along we are on our AI journey, making absolutely sure you aren't trying to buy a capability that, literally, hasn't even been invented yet. So, I'll leave you with this final thought. How does your current AI roadmap align with this realized taxonomy? Are your upcoming investments securely anchored in the realities of narrow AI and limited memory functionality? Or are flashy vendor promises blurring your lines into theoretical AGI? Take this framework, use it to audit your tech stack, and ensure you are investing heavily in the AI of today while safely monitoring the AI of tomorrow.